Hello YouTube and welcome back to old Flads. This is Nosgoth and I've got a beta first look sort of thing for you today, and I have changed the format a little bit. Usually when I do these beta first looks I will start at the beginning, I'll take you through various things about how the game is, then we'll go and play a little bit of the game, and they can get a little bit long-winded at times. This game especially can be both long-winded and have periods of inactivity, which I'm going to explain in a bit. But I thought it would be better if I just showed you highlights of a match that I played earlier, and this is all one match in which I'm going to be showing you both sides of this particular coin. Now, this game has been developed by, in fact, you know what, before we get going too much into it, I just want to thank Dixikinz for giving me the beta key to this. It's going to be a free-to-play game when it actually releases. But for now, you have to buy what they're calling a Founders Pack, which gives you, I think, gives you a skin, the ability to unlock one of the characters, and a few little buffs and stuff like little boosts and stuff like that. You will be able to purchase with microtransactions at any point once the game actually releases, anyway. But it guarantees you the beta access. I didn't want to do that because I was a little bit unsure about how I felt about this game, because I have known about this game for a couple of months now. It was just the idea of 4v4 vampires versus humans. I don't know, something in my head didn't think it was the best sort of deal for me. However, I was very fortunate when Dixie said that he bought it and he had a spare beta key for me, and I'm so glad that he gave it to me, because this game is very, very intense and a very, very interesting take on traditional death matches that we sort of know from other games. This game has been made by Square Enix, I think it's Enix, and those guys are a behemoth of the gaming world. They're a Japanese company, but throughout their history and sort of their amalgamations, they've come up with games like Final Fantasy, Tomb Raider, Deus Ex, Hitman. We are talking about a company that knows how to make good games, so and in fact publish good games, of course. But this game is no exception to the rule. It is incredibly strategic, incredibly fast-paced at times, and incredibly tactical at times as well. Now, as you can see here, I'm playing as a human, and the humans are very squidgy. So playing together as a team is an absolute must, and there's not many games that really encourage this. And although games like Insurgency, it helps if you play as a team, in this particular game it is vital to play as a team. The humans are very easy to kill by vampires when you are on your own. If you run around in this game trying to be a lone wolf, you will die, and you'll die a lot and you won't kill a lot, and that's pretty much the bottom line in it as well. I mean, I'm sure there are exceptions to that rule, but the general feeling around this game that I get is that as humans, you stick together. You don't stick together, you die. You also spend a lot of time in the same sort of areas, and it's not camping, okay, but not in the true sense of camping where you sort of hide and hope to take a quick snipe shot, because the vampires are actually pretty tough as well. So it takes coordinated team efforts, utilising your alchemy, your special weapons that you've got, to actually create a devastating effect upon one or more vampires. I do like that. In fact, that's one of the most endearing things to this game, because when Dixie and I have played together as a team, we do tend to wreck people that are just sort of playing it without really knowing what's going on. And like I said, very few games actually actively encourage that and massively punish you for not doing that. Now, I've moved on to the vampires now. This is actually the second half. So when you're playing, although the humans are a little bit squidgy, you do become a vampire in the second part. So you will get your opportunity to go and do your hunting, so to speak. The vampires specialise in melee attacks. And as you can see there, the pounce attack is just one of several that can be done by... This is the Reaver. I should probably just explain. There are 3 classes per... we call them factions for ease. There are 3 classes. You've got like the general melee dude, which is me, who's quite athletic. You've then got the tanky dude who's got a charge, and then you've also got a flying vampire as well, which can pick people up, take them up, and then drop them to cause fall damage. It's a very, very cool thing. all of these need to be worked sort of together to create a good team sort of ethos, because they all have different things that benefit you as a team. Dixikinz and I, as you can see here, utilising the charge and the pounce to full effect. And whilst the vampires can go a bit more solo run and gun because they have the ability to parkour and jump up and down on the buildings and get away very quickly, they still have a bit of a weakness if they're on their own, especially around sort of 3 or 4 of the human hunters. And I quite like this, because the vampire does give you a bit more of a chance, a bit more freedom to enjoy sort of moving around the map and doing sort of like little skirmishes, if you like, just taking down the health of the humans. And I think that's quite a nice contrast. And after you've played the human, which is quite intense and it's quite scary because you are being actively hunted all the time, the vampires do give you an opportunity to probably enjoy the game a bit more. Now, as you can see here, we're utilising what's this black smoke that we've got, and this is one of the sort of consumable elements that everyone gets, and everyone will have a different thing. So you can have a black smoke. This is for vampire. You've got black smoke. You've got this thing that makes the humans sick. You've got a special swoop attack. You've got a special pounce attack, and all of these combined are what make vampires very dangerous at close range. The job of the humans, of course, is to try and keep the distance and keep a certain perimeter against them. And there's not many games, like I was saying, that have this contrast. It's usually you start this end, we'll start that end, and then you'll deal with it as best you can. And Nosgoth has done a fantastic job of really creating a very tense environment on one side and a very violent and a more aggressive sort of feeling across the other faction. And whilst in game modes usually dictate that, it's actually dictated by characters in this game. So it's a very, very strong sort of mechanic that they've managed to implement. And again, here you're going to see an element of teamwork, just doubling up the pounce attacks on one single human. When humans are on their own, they're almost certainly dead. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this format. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I really strongly suggest going to get Nosgoth, because it is a fantastic game. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I've been on Flads. Cheers and goodbye.